And Bob Moute is the starting three for this Clipper team tonight, along with Griffin, Jordan, Redick, and Paul. Jordan Clarkson, second-year pro out of Missouri, who was an all-rookie team member a year ago. Lou Williams, rookie Larry Nance, Hibbert, and Kobe Bryant at age 37. Announced last month he will retire after his 20th and final NBA season, all spent here in LA with the Lakers. Been a rough season for the Lakers, just 5-24. They have the second worst record in the NBA behind Philadelphia. There's Bryant, and Kobe short, but an offensive rebound for Nance. And then Jordan clears. Now the Clippers coming in, losing 3 in a row. They got off to a good start. Undefeated in their first 4 games, but they are under 500 since, as Blake Griffin gets to the basket. And that's been a problem for the Lakers all year long. No defense at the rim.
One of the worst defenses in the NBA are the LA Lakers. And Blake Griffin, to me, has made strides in the last couple seasons as good as anybody. And you never talk about great players being most improved, but he certainly is one.
Hibbert connects from the outside. Well, to your point on Griffin, his scoring is up. He is the NBA leader in go-ahead baskets. That's an important stat because that means he's a clutch player this year for the Clippers. Their defense has failed them, though, in the fourth quarter in a lot of games this year. Redick, who's having a career year, shooting the 3 off the mark.
But Dave, just remember a couple years ago, Blake Griffin could not make a standstill 15 to 18-foot jump shot. And now he's one of the most deadly mid-range shooters we have in the league.
Doc Rivers says it's all about his work ethic. Griffin putting it in and challenging himself. Kick ball by Nance. And this is still a young guy, 6th year in the NBA. Here's Chris Paul, has played very well of late, and Paul hits the jumper, averaging 23 points per game over his last 4. He missed some time this year with injury. Missed 5 games after playing in all 82 last year. Redick hits the deck, but a Clipper foul. And they get JJ for the personal, his first.
How about JJ Redick? And this guy, he is not a standstill shooter. He's at 47% from 2, at 47% from 3 right now. But his ability to make plays for others coming off screen and roll. He's not going to be a great lockdown one-on-one defender, but he's a lot better on the defensive end than people give him credit for. A smart, cerebral player.
Well, you were making the point to me before the game that you think with the 4 of the 5 that the Clippers have, that they would challenge for one of the best starting lineups
Absolutely.
in the league.
If they could get something out of the 3 position as Blake Griffin goes coast to coast, which you see from time to time. Absolutely. They have to settle on somebody at the 3 position.
Hibbert with a jam, his second field goal.
To just make some shots. I mean, now, Bob Moute is an excellent defender, great wing defender. He's averaging less than 2 points a game. He's not there to shoot the basketball, but they need to get that. Last year was their problem. What was that?
Lou Williams looking at him like, grab the ball, young man.
And DeAndre Jordan will get credit because he was the closest to the rim.
That right there encapsulates the Lakers season, maybe the last 2 seasons.
And DeAndre Jordan, who shoots 70%, maybe he gets a lot of those.
He's the NBA career leader in field goal percentage, and it just went up. Here's Hibbert again to the bucket. And Hibbert, a 2-time All-Star with the Indiana Pacers in his first year out west, has all 6 for LA, the Lakers. Chris Paul playing in Christmas for the 6th time. Got a career average of 19 per game on December 25th. Redick off the screen, fires and hits.
A great 2-man action there with Blake Griffin. Took his time, came off the screen once, wasn't there, reset, and Blake Griffin had the patience to find Redick the second time.
Hibbert feeling it. Roy Hibbert, 4 of 4. He's already got more in this game than he's averaging on the season. He's averaging 7 points per game, a career low.
Well, you mentioned the Lakers season. That's kind of how it goes, too. You never know who's going to do what as J.J. Redick knocks down the open J.
Back-to-back buckets for Redick, 10-year pro out of Duke, 3rd year now with the Clippers.
One of the prettiest jumpers we have in the game.
And a turnover by the Lakers, 3-on-3.
What do you think about the uniforms? I like them. Very nice penmanship.
Both of the night games featured a team wearing white. The first 3 games you had the color on color. Paul fakes the pass and hits the floater over Hibbert.
Nice little deke there on Hibbert. Got him to pause and got it up over the 7-footer.
Lou Williams. There was contact, no whistle. And now a foul is called on the floor.
Chris Paul, one of the craftiest players. Good screen there by Jordan. You see just a little fake as if he was going to throw that lob to DeAndre. Got him the space to be able to finish. We talked about this before the game. Remember, he was supposed to be traded to the LA Lakers. What has happened since that time? That if he was a Laker 4 years ago, where this Laker team would be? I mean, we don't know, obviously, but we know where the Clippers have gone. This has been a team that's been, what, 56 wins, 57 wins, 58 wins in the last 3 seasons, and the Lakers have gone the other way.
Actually called, it was a late whistle. They called the foul on the shot attempt, 1 out of 2 for Lou Williams. But to your point, Chris Paul and the Clippers, even though people say, well, he hadn't played in a conference finals, obviously that's true, but where would the Clippers be without him? As Redick drills a 3 consecutive made shots by Redick, and it's an 8-point Clipper lead.
And 3 consecutive times that Lou Williams has come off the body of J.J. Redick. You can never leave contact of J.J. Redick. Tough shot there, good D.
And Bryant 0 for 2. Kobe has missed just 4 games this year. He didn't play last year, wanted to rest. 2 years ago was injured. So he has not played on Christmas Day since 2012. Clippers have made their last 5 shots. And then in and out on the 3-point try by Paul. The Lakers with wins at Brooklyn, at Denver, at Washington. Home to Detroit and Milwaukee. Those are the 5 wins for the Lakers.
What are they, 1-15 against the West?
And 2-8 at home. Now they have played twice as many road games, basically as home games, as Nance. Boy, he shot it better into his own basket than he did at the Clipper hoop.
You going Grinch on me early? Come on now.
I'll save it for later. Here's Redick over Williams, and this one won't go.
Oh, he saw, yeah, he got hit. Absolutely, Derek Stafford right on top of that. Redick got hit on the arm.
That's the first foul on the Lakers.
Well, let's see if he was right. Again, Lou Williams chases, good step back, and clearly right on the elbow. Lewis hits the shooting arm of J.J. Redick.
And you talked about one of the prettiest strokes in the game. We get to see it right here. And as he misses the first free throw.
You're grinching everybody. What are you doing? Did you not get something? Good night. I know your wife took care of you with something good today. Well, last night you had to fly in this morning, right?
That's private business, John. But your
some sort of red wine, I'm sure.
Your tie was a welcome.
I gave you a tie.
It was very nice of you. I appreciated that. Notice I'm not wearing it though.
Maybe you could pick up a check one of these days.
Next Christmas. Williams off the Hibbert screen midway through this opening quarter.
Loves to go left.
Drills the 3. 6th man of the year in 2015 when he was with Toronto.
This guy loves to go left. Off the dribble to his left. He's a deadly shooter. Got to know the scouting report. Force him to his strong hand.
29 years old, but his 11th year in the NBA. Former 2nd-round pick. Here's Redick again.
Fortunate. He's getting buried on these picks, or he's losing body contact. Either way, you're going to pay the price more times than not with J.J. Redick.
Bryant tried to feed Hibbert. It was off his knee. So a turnover by Kobe. He hasn't scored here in the first quarter, as Griffin thought he was fouled. They're going to say it was just touched last by the Lakers. 6-point Clipper lead midway through the opening quarter. Christmas night in Los Angeles.
Welcome back to Staples Center, and you might wonder how Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest competitors the NBA has ever seen, is tolerating the Lakers off to a 5-24 start. The answer is surprisingly well. Byron Scott, who's known Kobe since Kobe's rookie year in the league, says he's never seen Kobe joking and laughing with opponents as much as he has this season. And Kobe, after the games, is being very generous and spending a lot of time with the media, has a lot of smiles there as well. The key word that Kobe says, he is realistic. He understands the state of the franchise right now, that young players take a while to learn how to play in this league, and that what they have right now, the roster they have, is not conducive to winning. So what he's decided to do is simply enjoy the ride on his final time around the league. Dave?
And J.A., we've seen Kobe defer. There was a game in Minnesota where the Lakers went to overtime. Kobe told Byron Scott, the head coach, when he was about to put him back in the game, hey, just let the young guys play. I'm good. And they almost won that ball game on the road.
That had to be tough. I talked to Kobe before the game because that's what I was wondering when I talked to J.A. about it. And I'm surprised that he can smile and wave at people after he can look at the scoreboard night after night and seeing his team being demolished. But as he told me, basically, look, if I had enough food at dinner, I don't need the dessert. And he's had a pretty good 20 years, and he's enjoying it. And you know what? He really does deserve that. When you look, the All-Star game, he's got the most votes out of any player in the All-Star voting at this point. So people are respecting what we've seen over the last 20 years from Kobe Bryant.
He's a leading vote getter, and he has more votes than LeBron James and Kevin Durant combined through the first returns for the 2016 All-Star game, which will be in Toronto. There's been a lot of discussion as Paul gets the rebound about whether Kobe should be in the All-Star game and whether Commissioner Silver should open a spot for him. He don't have to worry about that because the fans are going to vote him in, regardless of whether he's a forward or a guard. He's listed as a forward, as Blake Griffin connects from outside, and Griffin is 3 of 3 from the floor, has 7 points in the game.
Well, he said, I thought everybody hated me around the league. I'm surprised at all the adulation and respect that he's got in every stop that he's made.
Well, you played with Kobe in his second year in the NBA here with the Lakers. You guys both came off the bench, so you practiced a lot on the same unit. Talk to me about his competitive fire then, and maybe how he's handling this year and losing for the last couple of years.
Jay just said it, that, I mean, to me, the greatest competitor this league has ever seen has been Michael Jordan. Kobe can't get the three to go. And Kobe Bryant was next. In the 20, 30 years that I've been around the league, growing up, this guy in practice would treat it as if it was the playoffs every day. He played behind Eddie Jones, a terrific two-guard in this league for a long time. And he told me, he grabbed me the first day and said, we're going to beat them every single day. And he was the type of guy that if you played one-on-one after practice, the only time he was going to leave was when you were ready to leave. He would have never stopped playing if you wanted to keep playing. So I beat him once and I never played again. I left.
Well, the injuries he has played through over the course of his career, as Hibbert bricks that one, rebounded by Jordan. And then obviously the last 3 seasons, injury has cut short the campaign. The Achilles, and then the knee injury 2 years ago. Last year was the rotator cuff. The alley-oop by Paul to DeAndre Jordan. And the Clippers lead by 11. They've made all 5 of their attempts in the paint in this game. There's some talk that maybe Kobe, after retiring from the NBA, as Russell connects, might try to go overseas for a year. He grew up in Italy, and he said his body just won't do it. His body's too broken down for him to play anymore. This is it, and he is embracing it. Here's Paul off the bounce, and Chris Paul with 6 points, 3 assists in the opening frame.
I feel like Chris Paul could get that shot pretty much anytime he wants. You know, he gets to anywhere he wants to on the floor. He's an unselfish guy, always a pass-first guy. As Russell knocks down the mid-range jump shot again. But Chris Paul, to me, I think for this Clipper team, as he takes it all the way to the rim, for them to take the next step, I think he has to be a little more selfish. And with the production they're getting at the 3 position and their lack of shooting other than J.J. Redick from the perimeter, with Jamal Crawford struggling a little bit this year, he's got to take it himself, I think, a little bit more.
Here's D'Angelo Russell, the number 2 pick in the draft, and he comes off the bench and has 7 points on 3 of 4 shooting. Russell leads all NBA rookies in made threes. That's his 47th of the year, and Doc Rivers calls it timeout.
The NBA on ESPN is presented all season long by State Farm. We exist to assist. And in part by Jaguar. See the new model year lineup at JaguarUSA.com. Wells Fargo, have a magical holiday from our family to yours. And Grey Goose, world's best tasting vodka.
On the future, I don't know. That's a long way down the road.
It sure is. You got 19 or 20 years to play with the Lakers.
Yeah, 19 or 20 at least.
A pair of Hall of Famers. One you certainly knew at the time, Chick Hearn. The other has become a Hall of Famer, Kobe Bryant, in his 20th NBA season at age 37. Jordan Clarkson was 3 years old when Kobe debuted. Julius Randle was 1 year old. D'Angelo Russell was 8 months old. And now Russell and Bryant playing a lot of minutes on the floor together, although Kobe's on the bench right now. Griffin saves it off the leg of Randle. It'll stay Clipper ball. They have an 8-point lead. 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. That was the first miss in the paint for the Clippers in this game. And they have not been a good team in terms of points in the paint, which surprises you when you look at their roster and all the dunks they get.
Yeah, right. Well, Blake Griffin, number 3 or 4 in the league inside the paint, but the rest of the team just 37, which is almost last, as Lou Williams goes to the left
and
takes out Leroy Richardson.
And
let's see if he's going to get 3, right?
Yeah, 3 free throws for Williams. First foul in the last 2 minutes on the Clippers.
Lou Williams, 3.
Lou Williams, 4 points so far in the game at the line. As we take a look at our upcoming NBA national TV schedule, Clippers are playing a back-to-back tomorrow at Utah. Houston and New Orleans will play each other. They both played on Christmas Day. Wednesday, January 6th on ESPN, a doubleheader with the Knicks at Heat. OKC hosting Memphis Thursday on TNT, January 7th. Bulls, Celtics, Lakers at Sacramento.
There's no more games tonight?
What's that?
There's no more games tonight?
It's a little late.
Oh, this is the last one
on the East Coast. Is Paul Pierce, who is from Oakland but grew up in Inglewood.
A lot of boos.
Yeah, because
Celtic.
Yeah,
all Celtic hate.
The Lakers-Celtic rivalry games. In fact, Kobe Bryant says his favorite Christmas Day memory is playing against the Celtics the year after Boston beat them for the NBA title. And the Lakers beat the Celtics. They were 27-2 Boston coming into that game in 2009. Crawford leans in and gets the bounce, and that's a good sign for the Clippers. He has struggled the last 4 games, shooting about 20% from the floor.
Yeah, they got to get him going. He's at 36 overall and just over 30 from the three-point line this season. Good tip there by Prigioni.
Randle throws it to Prigioni, a 3-on-2, and Russell takes it away, intercepting the pass. Now a 4-on-1.
Whoa,
Russell.
That's got to be double, triple.
Yeah.
No, a little too much there, Rook.
Well, you got to give it up there. You got a 4-on-1.
Yeah,
6 turnovers by the Lakers now.
A little bit too fancy on that one. Got ahead of himself. Just make the simple play. You're down 8 here early. You can't afford to be doing that stuff here in the first quarter.
Lakers with a foul to give. The Clippers shooting 68% from the floor here in the opening quarter. Prigioni, age 38, first year as a Clipper, and he drains a 3, the second three-point basket for the Clippers.
I tell you, I love watching Pablo Prigioni play. He plays the right way. He's not a terrific shooter. He's not going to wow you jumping over the rim. He's not faster than anybody, but he understands how to play as we get a walk there from Julius Randle. Pablo Prigioni, a guy that's always a great plus-minus guy, and I think a terrific backup point guard for this team.
Well, they had Eric
I know they have
Bledsoe
Austin
for a while,
Rivers.
and then Darren Collison, and now they have Prigioni getting a lot of minutes as the backup point. He dishes it to Aldridge, who missed the layup. About an 8-second difference between game and shot clocks here at the end of the first quarter. Here comes the Brandon Bass screen for Williams. Williams on the drive with 4 to shoot. Bass in the paint, got Aldridge off his feet, and is fouled with 2.6 on the shot clock.
Foul number 45, Aldridge.
So Brandon Bass will go to the line for 2. The Lakers down 11 points.
The more I look at this Laker roster, it's just a strange mix of players, and I asked Byron Scott, how do you want to play? I mean, you brought in Roy Hibbert. Do you want to run with Roy Hibbert? Kobe Bryant's not going to run the floor and be the guy that we've seen for all these years. He's going to want to slow it down. Then you've got D'Angelo Russell, Lou Williams, Nick Young, Julius Randle's a guy that can grab the rebound and push. So what is the best way for this Laker team to play? They're one of the worst offensive teams in basketball, 26th in scoring. And so it's just very difficult with the roster that Byron Scott has to find some sort of offensive identity.
Russell picked up the foul. They did have a foul to give. I think Byron Scott made it seem like one of the reasons that he doesn't want to go small all the time is because he doesn't trust Julius Randle as a young player to not turn the ball over.
Yeah.
And also defending the 5 consistently. Here's Paul Pierce with 2 seconds left, short, and the first quarter comes to an end.
In the first period, Clippers 32, Lakers.
Well, it was not a great first quarter for Kobe Bryant, his final Christmas Day game, 0 for 3 from the floor. Meanwhile, Chris Paul was 4 of 6, 8 points, and the Clippers lead by 10 after 1. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear for game-changing performance in your lane. Choose Goodyear tires. Goodyear, more driven. The Clippers shoot 64% in the opening quarter and lead the Lakers by 10, 32-22. Checking out with J.A. Adonde and Clippers head coach Doc Rivers.
Thanks, Dave. Doc Rivers, we saw the aggressive Chris Paul. Is that more what you want to see coming into the season?
Yeah, I like when he's aggressive because his natural habits will be pass anyway, so I've always liked that.
Which version of the Clippers do you think we've seen? You kind of struggled coming back off that road trip. Where do you think you guys are right now?
I think we're in a good place. I mean, just the end of the road trip caught up to us, but we got to get back to playing defense. They have 22 points, and they should have less right now, in my opinion, but our defense keeps breaking down.
Thanks a lot, Doc. Back to Dave.
And J.A., Doc overall was pretty positive about where his team is. You look at their record and see 16-13, 5-10 against teams that are 500 or better, and I'm sure there are Clipper fans concerned as Crawford swishes through the J. But he was pretty upbeat about where his team is right now.
A little more upbeat than I would be feeling, to be quite honest. I mean, they're 0-7. They played the Warriors, San Antonio, Oklahoma City, Indiana, Cleveland, Atlanta, Toronto. Those are the top 7 teams in the West and Eastern conferences. They didn't win any of those games.
Russell cans at 3. He's having a terrific night with 10 points, 2 of 2 from behind the arc. Pierce gets it from Aldridge. Paul Pierce playing on Christmas for the 4th straight year with the 4th different team. Boston, Brooklyn, Washington, and now the Clippers.
And he was big last year for the Washington Wizards, no question. In the playoffs, had a game-winning shot against Atlanta. And I think Doc is trying to get him incorporated into this team maybe a little bit too slowly. I think it's set him back a little bit. I think we're going to see a little more of Paul Pierce as we move forward here and see what he can bring to this team.
Averaging about 16 minutes per game, but Doc says that number will go up here shortly. He's only averaging 4 points per game. 2 to shoot. Clarkson takes it to the goal and is fouled by Pierce. Pierce arguing with Kevin Cutler about the call, but he picks up the foul, his first.
Now this is just Clarkson's first field goal attempt as he tries to throw it down on Paul Pierce. Guy averaging 15 a game. Really a bright spot for this team, and we talked about his free agency opportunity after this season, right? He signed just a 1-year deal or 2-year deal. He's up. He's a restricted free agent going into this summer.
It was a 2nd-round pick by Washington, 46th overall, and he's making $845,000 this year. It's possible, and because other teams could offer him about $12 million per season, that he could make between 15 and 20 mil if the Lakers decide to keep him. That's quite a raise.
Well, look, the Lakers are going to have some opportunities to sign some free agents. A couple things have to happen. Obviously, Kobe Bryant retires. Brandon Bass has to opt out. And they have an opportunity that they'll have possibly $60 million or so to spend on free agents.
Pierce too strong on the 3. Now, I'm not saying that's what the Lakers are going to pay for Clarkson, but
no, I like Clarkson, but if I have to pay him $20 million, I'm in trouble as he fumbles the ball out of bounds. An excellent player. I think he's got a bright future. But boy, if someone throws an offer at him, I don't know that the Lakers can match it if it's something around that $12 to $15 million area.
I was talking with Tracy Murray, the Lakers shooting coach, before the game, and he's really bullish on Clarkson and his jump shot. He's shooting in the mid-30s from 3, but he thinks that number can go up as Stevenson misses badly. It's been a struggle for Lance Stevenson. as a Clipper, averaging 4.5 points per game. It's a guy that was in double figures 2 years ago in Indiana.
Well, this team, other than J.J. Redick, has been unable to knock down a three-point shot with any consistency. Chris Paul, a decent three-point shooter as well, but other than that, Stevenson's really struggled. Pierce has really struggled. Josh Smith has struggled. Crawford. Ba Mute, not a guy that really takes the threes. Wesley Johnson. So they need to find somebody at that position as they move forward. You can stay with Ba Mute as a defensive wing player, but at the end of the day, to space the floor, you have to have a guy that's able to knock down open shots, and particularly three-point shots.
They were number 3 in the league in that category last year. They're 19th this year. All their offensive numbers, the Clippers, are down.
Way down.
This year from last year. Defensively, they're about the same, middle of the pack. But offensively, they went from one of the best teams to still being a team that can shoot the ball and score. But from three-point land, they're struggling. And rebounding, defensive and offensive rebounding, has been a problem.
Yeah, the defensive rebounding has gone from top 10 to 4th worst in the league. You wouldn't think that. Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, a couple pretty good rebounders as Russell continues to deliver here. What a great first half.
5 of 6 for the number 2 pick. 12 points for Russell on the night. That's right at his season average, 4th among rookies in the NBA. Here's Prigioni behind the head to Aldridge. Couldn't finish. Lakers down 8. Here comes Clarkson. And Julius Randle yet to score in the game. Second-year player out of Kentucky, but basically a rookie. Broke his leg on opening night last year and missed the entire season. Aldridge bumped. No foul called. Last touch by the Clippers. Kobe Bryant will return to the lineup for the Lakers when we come back. His team down 8 on his final Christmas game. NBA record 16th Christmas game for Kobe Bryant. His record is 6-9 coming in. He is the all-time leading scorer on Christmas with 383 points. Had a 42-point game against Shaq and the Heat back in 2004. Just 3 years ago, his last Christmas Day game that he played against the Knicks. He had a great game. He and Doc Rivers, 2 outstanding competitors as players. And now Doc as a coach. And what does the future hold for Kobe and what his next endeavor will be? Post-basketball playing days. Bryant has not scored in this game. Jordan Clarkson way off the mark on the 3. Bryant played 10 minutes so far. 0 for 3 from the floor. He does have an assist, but 2 turnovers for Bryant. Been playing well coming in, averaging 24 per game over his last 5. Shooting numbers are up. Assist numbers are up. Playing his best basketball certainly of this season and maybe of the last few years as Crawford connects again.
Yeah, this is a good sign. Jamal Crawford now knocking down another mid-range jumper. Got to get this guy going. The most consistent player they have off the bench.
Defensive 3 seconds, a technical. 1 free throw coming for the Lakers.
That's a technical foul.
And Kobe Bryant will shoot it as DeAndre Jordan and Chris Paul about to re-enter the game. And the applause from the crowd as Kobe gets set
to score a point. They get excited about anything with this guy.
The Junior NBA presented by Under Armour is the league's youth basketball participation program for boys and girls ages 6 to 14 that teaches the fundamentals and values of the game. Come play with the NBA. Download the Junior NBA app and register your league today at juniornba.com. For the Lakers as a team, just 5 of 10 at the foul line so far in the game. And Bryant still scoreless. Russell, the leading scorer. He is almost half the Lakers total. He's got 12. Julius Randle from outside, too strong on the three-point trot.
Well, he was just 1 of 9 from 3 coming in. Not really the shot. I don't think they designed.
Wesley Johnson misses the 3. Was with the Lakers last year. We've got loose ball foul though on the Lakers.
Fouls on number 30.
That's on Randle, his second.
Second personal. Second team foul. Blake Griffin returns 4.
So you talked about Clarkson, and obviously Russell and Julius Randle are here to stay, it would seem. So if you're the Lakers, you're Mitch Kupchak, the GM, you've got to get this organization turned around. They're not used to losing. This will be the 3rd straight year they miss the playoffs. That's never happened in Laker history. How do you attack the offseason? What's the first priority?
Well, if you have a ton of money to spend, that doesn't mean people are going to come.
Breakaway, Crawford fouled by Clarkson.
5 wins thus far. They had their worst season in the organization's history last year. Will they reach that again this year? I think it could be worse. And if you went into next season and didn't land a big free agent, I don't know how much better this is going to be. I mean, it's going to be a little bit better from this year, but the free agent pool is not all that large unless you think you have a chance for a Kevin Durant. Dwight Howard might opt out. You want to try him back here again? I don't think that's going to happen. There's just not a lot out there, Dave. So Mitch Kupchak has got to get somebody.
Well, Doc Rivers was asked about it before the game. He thinks that there will be players that still want to come play for the Lakers. He said really more about Los Angeles in general, but specifically for the Lakers based on their history, tradition.
But this year there's not a great pool. I mean, Kevin Durant, do you think Kevin Durant is going to come here? You know, I don't know.
Look,
but they need a guy like that.
Here's Bryant, and finally Kobe with his first points in his final Christmas Day game.
I mean, they need franchise guy. I mean, Joakim Noah, if he came here as a free agent, is not going to turn around this franchise. I mean, they need an all-star franchise stud to get this thing back on the right track.
Shot clock down to 5 for Paul. Good defense in the half court by the Lakers. Paul, though, able to hit over Randall. And Chris Paul now with 10 points. It's a 12-point Clipper lead.
Dave, and remember this. If this team doesn't finish with the 3rd worst record or the 2nd or the 1st worst record, they lose their pick.
Right, it's a top 3 protected pick.
If they get the #1 pick, I love Ben Simmons.
Wow, what a fake pass. Paul, terrific play, and that's back-to-back buckets. 14-point lead, their largest of the game. Off the bucket by Kobe Bryant as well, which got the crowd on its feet, but then the Clippers came right back to extend their lead. Bryant finally on the board after 12 minutes played for the Lakers.
It's Christmas when I'm loving you, baby. Oh, stop playing. Every day is Christmas.
Welcome back to the NBA Christmas Special presented by State Farm. Dave Pass, John Barry, J.A. Adonde at the Staples Center. Certainly an honor and a joy for us at ESPN to be welcomed into your home with you and your family on Christmas night. Hope you enjoyed a great day of basketball. The 5th and final game here on Christmas Day 2015. Kobe Bryant's last, his 16th overall. 20 years in the league, all with the Los Angeles Lakers, the only player in NBA history to accomplish that feat. Kobe with the lean in. Good defense by Johnson. They work it around with 3 to shoot. Here's Clarkson, and he can't get the triple. They leave Johnson open on the break, and Wes Johnson from 3-point land. It's a 17-point Clipper lead, their largest of the game.
Well, that's what they're going to need out of a Wesley Johnson, or if it's Lance Stevenson, or if it's Paul Pierce, or it's Luke Mbah-a-Moute. Somebody's got to be able to knock down that open 3 as Kobe takes a tough one, almost gets it to go. It looks like he's going to get 3 free throws.
They get Johnson for the foul. Kobe missed his only foul shot.
33, correction, Wesley Johnson.
He has to work real hard, Dave, to get looks.
Kobe Bryant.
And he's not capable of doing that on a nightly basis. Yes, he's going to have his nights. He had 31 the other night, Tuesday in Denver. But to have to work that hard against good defenders, it's very difficult on a nightly basis.
How much of that is his age? How much of that is the guys he's playing with
Both.
young players?
Both. You know, and then run some stuff for him to get him maybe into the block. I mean, you remember Michael Jordan in the latter stage of his career, he became a back to the basket player from mid-range. I mean, he was basically strictly a post-up player. You can conserve energy that way. He's got still the great size. How are you going to stop him fading away as he's missed, what, 3 free throws now already?
Yep.
But you've got to be able to find different places that you can conserve energy to still be effective. And I think Kobe Bryant in the post would be terrific.
Well, you mentioned Jordan. It's amazing when you think at age 40 that he averaged 20 per game and shot in the mid-40s percentage-wise.
Yeah.
A lot of that was because he played closer to the basket, but still. Kobe Bryant from three-point land. It rolls home. Second basket for Bryant. He's got 6 points now.
See what we mean? Just come down and cross over a guy and pull up from three.
That's how he's gotten a lot of his points this year.
Well, you know, 25% from the three-point line. He's taken a ton of them. That's not a way you get a steady diet of that. You're going to struggle like he did in those first 20 games. But again, we see glimpses of the great Kobe Bryant. Nice little left cross on Wesley Johnson and gets it to climb in. But that is a tough way to make a living. Pull up threes unless your name's Steph Curry.
Meanwhile, a loose ball foul on DeAndre Jordan. 14 foul on the Clippers. Out of bounds off the Clippers. It will be Laker ball with 16 to shoot. Speaking of Steph Curry, how about Golden State 28-1? A grinded out win today against Cleveland.
Well, that's what they had to do in the finals. Cleveland is a heck of a defensive team, and they play the Warriors tough.
Bryant hits another three. Back-to-back triples for Kobe.
Here we go. Are we looking at 81?
Stop.
81. No, the Lakers team could get to 81.
7-0 Laker run. 7-0 Kobe run. 2 triples. And the Lakers are back within 10. At halftime, live from the Staples Center with Sage Steele and Jalen Rose making their way into the building. The Clippers perimeter scoring and a Christmas wish for Kobe. And speaking of Bryant, he has scored the last 7 points for the Lakers.
Yeah, he has to work so hard to get his baskets. This time a little fadeaway right over Wesley Johnson, and then the early pull-up three off to the cross. And then here a nice pick from Nance gets him a little bit of clearance, and Kobe's got it warmed up here on Christmas night.
9 straight points for Bryant. All of his points in the game coming during this stretch as Blake Griffin gets deep in the lane but can't finish. Got it back and put it in.
3 Lakers standing there, and Blake Griffin slides through, gets the offensive board, and gets the putback.
9 points, 4 rebounds. That ends a 7-0 Laker run. Here's Bryant, another 3 ball. This one an air ball. Last touch by Nance. Bryant thought he was fouled.
He was lobbying, but no. Did not get hit on that one. Here's Mute, a heck of a defender.
Ball moving to his right, and that one spins out. 12-point Clipper lead, 3.5 to go here in the first half. The Clippers come in riding a 3-game skid. Jordan Clarkson from outside. That's a 2-point basket for the second-year pro out of Missouri. First team all-rookie a year ago. First field goal for Clarkson on the night. Back to Griffin working on Nance. Here's the face-up. And Griffin flips it up. He thought he was fouled. Incidental contact. Now Bryant on the break. Tries the lane. Williams as the defender flies by, and Williams can't drop the 3. I get Hibbert on Griffin. Paul. Hibbert with the block, and Jordan still almost threw it in. And a fresh 24 had hit the shot clock. Paul hits, and a foul on Clarkson. What a crafty play by Chris Paul, his 14th point.
Yes, and that's 9 field goal attempts now for Chris Paul. And we talked about it. I think he has to be an aggressive guy for this team to take the next step and really be a threat. Although they sit here at 16-13, I think a lot of people believe this team will make a run and will be a top 4 team in the Western Conference.
Well, last year when they won 56 games, they went 14-1 in their final 15. So
we could see a run like that happening at any point. Tough schedule over the past couple weeks for this club.
Hibbert, that one rattles out, rebounded by Jordan. Here comes Paul, who has 7 points here in the quarter, 15 in the first half, coming off a 32-point game on Monday in their last contest. A loss here against the Thunder. Griffin spinning over 2 Lakers. And Jordan with the throwdown put Nance on the naughty list that time. Just dunked right on him.
And he dunked over his own teammate, Bamute. Ooh.
Oh, almost hit his head on the backboard there trying to swat that Williams shot, and a foul on the Clippers.
Well, you know you better put a body on DeAndre Jordan. And Nance tried, but he got shoved right underneath the rim. Nice little route out there, and Lou Williams was looking for a three-point play, but not with DeAndre Jordan in the air raid code.
Now, DeAndre Jordan, one of the best shot blockers in the NBA, was his 4th this year in that category. Of course, the drama, as that was almost tipped in by Blake Griffin in the summer, where it looked like he was going to be a Dallas Maverick, changed his mind as the Clippers ended up bringing him back.
That was a strange couple days, wasn't it? Redick, Paul, Doc Rivers, Blake Griffin all flew to Dallas and locked him in a hotel room.
And then Blake Griffin was tweeting out pictures, which actually were just that he just got off the internet, just to make it seem like they had a chair up against the door, keeping people from the outside getting in.
Well, that right there, see, that's something that DeAndre Jordan's talked about. I want the basketball. Now, that was just a straight post up. You don't see a lot of it, and a lot of it has to do with his 39% free throw shooting, that you can just foul him anytime he gets close to the rim, just like Roy Hibbert did there. Let's see if he can knock down a couple free throws.
Jordan is 3rd in the league in attempts, in part because he gets fouled so often because he can't make them. New Year's Eve on ESPN, it's the college football playoff semifinals. First, the Capital One Orange Bowl. Clemson and Oklahoma, followed by number 2 Alabama and number 3 Michigan State in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. Jordan gets 1 out of 2, and it's a 15-point Clipper lead inside 2 minutes to go in the first half. Jordan with 7. Chris Paul is the high man with 15 points. Blake Griffin has 9. Lakers are being led by D'Angelo Russell with 12. Kobe Bryant has 9 coming here in the second quarter. Here's Clarkson with 5 to shoot. Clarkson, tough shot, but it goes over Griffin. That's their 3rd basket in the paint tonight.
You see how hard they have to work. It's just isolation basketball. Don't get the ball from side to side. Good steal there by Nance. But it's such a chore for this team to get good looks. And that wasn't a good look. Clarkson knocked it down.
Clarkson on the drive, lost the handle. But it was last touched by the Clippers. 12 to shoot for the Lakers. Lakers just 5 wins on the season. Worst mark in the Western Conference, 2nd worst in the NBA. The only win for the Sixers came against this Lakers squad. Clarkson off the inbound, and a foul is called. That's a 2nd on Chris Paul.
Foul number 3, Chris Paul.
Both teams in the penalty now.
Jordan Clarkson, 2 shots.
Shooting foul anyway, so Clarkson at the line for 2, where he shoots 78%.
How about all these shoes? You okay with the shoes? I mean, I guess the NBA gives him a free pass today to do whatever you want.
I love the socks even more.
Well, the socks are fantastic, but I mean, look at these. These are Jordan Clarkson's. Just cut them out of a Christmas tree, it looks like. Lizard skin or something. I don't know. Are those gator? Those will cost you a pretty penny.
Clarkson gets the 2nd one. So the first points for the Lakers off of a turnover in this game. They're not making their free throws, otherwise it'd be a closer game. They're down just 11. Inside a minute to go. Here's Paul. And gets the bounce. 17 now for Paul, and 8 of 11 from the floor.
Yeah, I just love the attack. And if you don't come over, he'll finish. And if you do come over, it's a lob to DeAndre Jordan.
Bryant trying to muscle his way past the defender, had to force that one up, and now that hit Chris Paul off the head. It'll be Laker ball. Jamal Crawford will check in for J.J. Redick.
A good center field here by Lou Williams. Got it with the left hand, clearly right off of Chris Paul's noggin, who introduces himself to a Laker fan.
Notice that other Laker fan stood up. They were very crafty play there. He saw Chris Paul coming, got out of the way, let his buddy take the hit.
Well, I thought he was going to go Jason Day and bail out like he did against LeBron James the other day. You don't think he bailed out? He bailed. Come on, Jason.
Half-second difference between the game and shot clock here at the end of the first half. Chris Paul with 17 points. Great ball movement, and a three-pointer is good for Ba Mute with 3.5 remaining. Now Clarkson. There was contact, but no foul is called, and that's the end of the first half. Kobe Bryant had 9 points coming in about a 2-minute span. The Clippers, though, just too much offensively. They score 60 points, 17 for Chris Paul, 10 for Jamal Crawford off the bench. Stay tuned for Toyota Halftime after these messages with Sage Steele and Jalen Rose live here from the Staples Center. Clippers by 16 at the break.
The NBA on ESPN, presented all season long by State Farm, is brought to you by Adidas. Creators never follow. Capital One. Watch the Capital One Beach Bash live Wednesday on Watch ESPN. And the new movie The Hateful Eight, directed by Quentin Tarantino, in theaters everywhere Thursday.
Welcome back to NBA Christmas Special, presented by State Farm. And for Los Angeles, it is skating weather. Temperature in the mid-40s outside, but nice and toasty inside the Staples Center, where the Clippers lead the Lakers 60-44 as we get ready to start quarter number 3. Merry Christmas again. Dave Pasch alongside John Barry. Chris Paul, John, missed 5 games earlier in the season, but it seems like he's starting to get his groove. He had 32 in their last game on Monday against Oklahoma City, on pace for another 30-point game tonight. He is our story of the game, brought to you by Cricket Wireless.
Well, I think he realizes this team's at a crossroads right now. It's 16 and 13. They have to make a move, and I've always believed when he is aggressive and on the attack, this is a better Clipper team. He got into the paint at will. Beautiful fake there the first time. Mid-range jumper, he can get to that spot on the floor, gets the contact, here it goes baseline. But Chris Paul on the attack, to me, makes this Clipper team markedly be better.
8 of 11 shooting for Paul, 17 points to lead all scores. The Lakers were led by D'Angelo Russell's 12. Kobe Bryant had 9, but all those points came in about a 2.5-minute span.
Well, a typical Laker first half. They struggled offensively, 41% shooting. That's what they shoot on the year. Just 44 points. Missed free throws, turned it over 9 times, and they find themselves down 16.
No hustle points at all. Second chance points 0. Fast break points 0. And they only had 1 offensive rebound in that first half as well. Against a Clipper team that's struggling on the glass. Now the Clippers starting a 5-game quote road trip with this game tonight. They're at Utah tomorrow. They play 5 games in 7 days as they look to get right before the new year. They come in tied for 4th place in the West with Dallas. You got Golden State at 28-1. San Antonio losing its 6th game of the season tonight. Oklahoma City, and then it's everybody else. Meanwhile, seems like at least 2 through 11 in the East, there's a lot more parity and more teams above 500 in the East this year. Good pass by Redick to Griffin for the opening bucket of the 3rd.
What a great win for J.B. Bickerstaff and the Houston Rockets tonight, taking care of San Antonio as they try to get their season started now 1 game over 500.
A slow start for the Rockets, but they're starting to get it going now. Bryant drains a 3. The 3rd 3-point basket for Kobe. And his 16th and final Christmas game, set to retire after this season. Here's Griffin, 11 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. And there's going to be an offensive foul here on Griffin, so no basket.
Offensive foul number 32.
Kobe Bryant finding it difficult to get clean looks. Not about as clean as he's been all night, as Blake Griffin doesn't get out there in time as Kobe knocks down his 3rd 3 of the evening.
Over the last 6 games, his shooting percentage has gone up. Shooting 46% from the floor. He was around 30% prior to that. But he's had his most consistent stretch all season. and maybe in the last couple of years. Missed more than half the games last year, and almost all the games 2 years ago with a knee injury. Offensive foul on Clarkson as Paul draws the charge. That is the third on Jordan Clarkson.
Another Laker possession. The ball stays on one side of the floor in one man's hands for 17 seconds, and then he puts his head down and goes in and winds up getting the charge call. Got to move the basketball in this league, Dave Pash.
The Clippers did there. Bob Moute couldn't hit the three. And Williams took a shot to the face. Here's Hibbert. Boy, Hibbert got off to a great start. Had 8 quick points, but hasn't done anything since. Really hadn't taken any shots. Bryant tried to feed him there. Turned it over.
Again, that was another possession. The ball never left the right side of the floor. I mean, you have to move defenses to create better opportunities.
And the result, consecutive turnovers to start the quarter. Missed by Griffin. Here's Bryant.
Second fewest passes for this Laker team in the NBA per game. Philadelphia 76ers last. LA second worst. That means it's an isolation team. You don't create good enough shots to score points in this league.
Well, the question for the Lakers going forward is, who is their point guard? Is it Clarkson? Is D'Angelo Russell their point guard? Is it somebody else? Are they better off with one of those guys off the ball?
Well, no, I think D'Angelo Russell is a point guard. No, I love his vision. Great passer as Hibbert can't get that jumper to go. Russell will be a point guard in this league. And I would suspect that as we move forward in this season that he's going to get a lot more minutes.
Played 11 minutes in the first half and had 12 points. No assists, though. Bob Moute connects here. His second three-point basket.
That's the one he's got to knock down. And that's 2 threes here tonight. He had 6 on the whole season coming in. Nice play by Blake Griffin to draw the defense and hit Bob Moute in the corner.
Played his college ball at UCLA. Spent his first 5 years in the NBA with the Bucks, but has moved around the last 3 seasons with his 4th team during the last 3 years. Paul, the no-look alley-oop to DeAndre Jordan. Largest lead of the night for the Clippers, and a timeout by the Lakers.
Well, great look off there from Chris Paul. You got J.J. Redick spotting up. Got to worry about him, but don't forget about Mr. Jordan. And the Clips rolling here on Christmas night.
The NBA on ESPN, presented all season long by State Farm, is brought to you by Deadpool. Justice has a new face, February 12th. The next generation Kia Optima, official vehicle of the NBA. And McDonald's.
Six kicks off on New Year's Eve with Houston and Florida State in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Then the college football playoff semifinals. Oklahoma, Clemson, Michigan State, Alabama. New Year's Day, great matchup in the Fiesta Bowl. Ohio State and Notre Dame.
You're not calling any of those games. You can pick them. You're not like Herb Street, right? If he does the game, you can't call it.
Well,
I mean, you can't make a pick. I'm saying that.
I can make a pick.
Okay.
Which
we know Urban Meyer is going to take care of business against Notre Dame. There's no question. Because I'm not going.
I do think Ohio State will win that game, though.
Of course.
Is there another game you want to pick?
Well, I like Clemson over Oklahoma. That seems to be the minority.
I'm actually going to pick Oklahoma as
good.
Bryant misses, rebounded by Griffin.
Well, let's see if they can make a run back. But again, this Laker offense, the shots that they create are just too difficult.
Here's Paul. Turns it over. Bryant looking to run. This is what Byron Scott says, that he wants to be a running team. As that ends up in the hands of Clarkson. I think it might have been intended for Hibbert.
It was supposed to go to Hibbert. It was a little low.
Lakers have missed their last 5 shots. Redick way off on the 3. Laker ball. J.J. Redick, 10th year in the league, career high in 3-point shooting this year at 46%. Just 1 of 4 though tonight. They haven't needed his offense, a 20-point lead. And Clarkson gets the bounce. That ends a drought of 4 minutes for the Lakers without a field goal.
Well, good finish over there. Jordan went for that block. Somehow got it up over DeAndre, who's an excellent defender. I know Doc Rivers lobbies for this guy to be Defensive Player of the Year, year after year, and I really do believe he has a case. And this guy is one of the premier defenders in the league in the low post.
Redick faking the pass and then putting up an air ball.
Probably should have passed it. Didn't work out so well.
Here's Bryant, picked up by Bam Mute, trying to shake him. Gets the screen from Hibbert. Williams will try a three. Can't get it. And DeAndre Jordan with his 11th rebound. He averages 13 boards per game. Good for second in the NBA. He led the league in that category each of the last 2 years. Paul swishes it through with a high arcing shot.
What would you say the percentage of contested shots the Lakers take is of their shots? I mean, it feels like 7, 8 out of 10 of their shots are contested. And you're not winning in this league. You're not shooting better than 41% like they do on a nightly basis, if that's the case.
That was an uncontested shot.
That ball went from side to side. Yep. Kobe Bryant took it from the left side of the floor, drew a couple defenders, and you find Nance. And if you're the Clippers, you live with that. If Nance makes that shot, okay, we go back to the other end. Blake Griffin knocks down his mid-range jumper.
And that's an area where he has improved so much over his 6-year NBA career. #1 overall pick in 2009. Remember, Griffin was injured, and you started to wonder when he missed his entire rookie season, oh, is this going to be another Clipper bust draft pick because of injury or this lack of ability? But Blake Griffin has turned in one of the best Clipper picks of all time.
I think he's terrific, and he's gotten better year after year. Ball handling, can pass, the mid-range jumper like you talked about, the free throw shooting. I think every area this guy has gotten better as Clarkson knocks down probably the first 2 fast break points of the night for the LA Lakers.
And 2 buckets here by Clarkson in the quarter. 11 points. The Clippers call a timeout. It's a 16-point lead though for the Clippers. Clarkson trying to keep the Lakers in the game here midway through the third. Christmas night, and they trail the Clippers 71-55, and obviously this has been a well-documented story over the years, but bears repeating with the Lakers on their way to missing the playoffs for the 3rd straight year. For the first time in franchise history, they could have had Chris Paul 4 years ago, but the NBA vetoed the trade, and then just a few days later, Chris Paul was dealt to the Clippers, where he's helped them win 56 games in 2013, 57 2 years ago, 56 last year. They did lose in the conference semifinals against Houston in 7 games where they had a 3-1 series lead. Paul still has not been to a conference finals as Griffin lost it off his knee. And you wonder if the makeup of this team, especially at the small forward position, if the Clippers can get to the conference finals this year, given how good Golden State and San Antonio are at the top of the West.
Well, only time will tell, but Doc Rivers feels like this team, obviously not where they want to be as Larry Nance knocks down another jump shot, but feels that they're on the right track. They've had a tough schedule of late. They had won 9 of 11 before this 3-game losing streak, and he feels like they were playing good enough basketball to compete in this Western Conference.
Redick drains a 3, and certainly the Clippers would not be where they are without Chris Paul and what he's done for this franchise. He's given them a face, and I know that there are a lot of people that don't like the Clippers. They think that they complain too much. They lead the league in technicals again this year. But they've won a lot of regular season games since Paul has arrived. And meanwhile, the Lakers have gone in the other direction. And who knows where the Lakers might be with a Paul-Kobe backcourt, and whether they might have been able to attract another free agent. 0.1 to shoot on this possession for the Lakers.
Right. Well, we saw the stat since Chris Paul joined the Clippers. It'd be easy to say that the Clippers and Lakers have flip-flopped, but we can't say that because the Clippers haven't won anything. Okay, that's regular season success, as there's no way you can get a shot off there. That's regular season success that the Clippers have had, but it has been remarkable where this Laker team has gone in just a short couple years.
Well, you think about it, you brought in Steve Nash. You didn't get Chris Paul, so they signed Nash. They signed Dwight Howard. You've got 4 players on your roster in Gasol, Howard, Nash, and Kobe, who might be Hall of Fame players.
Right, you're thinking championship for sure.
And then Nash gets injured, Howard gets injured, Howard leaves. And the Lakers lose in the first round of the playoffs that year, and they haven't been back since. Here's Clarkson penetrating. Hibbert from outside. Spins out, but Nance with the hustle. That's their first offensive rebound since the opening minute of the game. D'Angelo Russell misses. A loose ball foul on the Lakers. DeAndre Jordan of the Clippers is wired for sound.
You know what I like? Scared of you. You know what I like? What? When you're aggressive.
I like it
When
too.
you're going out there and going to get it.
When I have it like that,
You Benjamin Button for a reason now. Talk to me. Come on, let's go. Come on. Back in the day, I just would have ran right. I know. Best three-point shooter in the league right here. And second best hair behind me. No. I got the best hair in the league. You second. You 1B.
What is he? Is he Dr. Phil? He's telling everybody how great they are.
Hey, it worked. Redick just hit a three. DeAndre
Tony
Jordan
Robbins out here. I mean, this is unbelievable.
He's a character. You know, the Clippers are featured in a lot of commercials with obviously Blake Griffin's great, Chris Paul, Cliff Paul, that whole thing. And now DeAndre Jordan.
He's in the State Farm?
The latest one where he dressed as a woman with a blonde wig.
Yeah, he's the mom.
Yeah.
Kevin Garnett's grandpa.
Damian
Lillard's
Lillard's
baby. Yeah, very nice. Blake Griffin, to me, though, is terrific. I mean, he's no Peyton Manning acting-wise, but he's the best NBA player by far.
Chris Paul gets the bounce. 21 points for Chris Paul in his 6th Christmas Day game, and the Clippers have their largest lead of the night at 22. 2.5 to go here in the third quarter. Quiet night for Nick Young. Young, no points, 0 for 3 from the floor. Paul for 3. Not there, but a loose ball foul on the Lakers, on Hibbert.
Yeah, not often are you going to see Chris Paul pull up on the break like that from 3. That's 15 field goal attempts from Chris Paul. And we've talked about how this team better when he's aggressive. And you wonder, with this team being 16-13, I think they just pointed the wrong way right there. It was a loose ball foul on DeAndre Jordan. And I thought Hibbert felt it was him, but he just pointed the wrong way. But Chris Paul, I believe, sensing that it's time. And he had some quotes the other day that said, you know what, we're at a point right now where the trust is not there. And that's not good when you're talking 29 games into the season that you don't trust one another.
Well, and Blake Griffin, although the comments were different with a shot clock at 2.5, Jordan contested that one, got a piece of it. Blake Griffin said, I don't know what to make of our team because we're not beating good teams. They're 5-10. As they try to showboat and can't finish. They're 5-10 against teams that are 500 or better. Young's 3 not there. Out of bounds off of Randall. But again, the Clippers, you know, last year they were up and down early in the year, and then they got hot the last month of the season, went 14-1, beat the Spurs in 7 games, and then had that collapse in game 6 here at home. They blew a 19-point lead.
I did that game on radio and was stunned, just stunned. And then I just thought they ran out of gas. Houston just had too many guys that they could go to. And this bench, again, and that's a problem. This bench, the 3rd lowest scoring bench in the NBA. Very little production on a nightly basis. You know, good sign to see Jamal Crawford going here tonight. But they need their bench as Stevenson knocks down one. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Pierce? Is it going to be Stevenson? Josh Smith, not even in the rotation for the last couple of games now.
Stevenson gives the Clippers a 25-point lead. They've scored the last 11 points just as the Lakers were starting to make a mini run. Randall is fouled. He'll go to the line. The Lakers have missed their last 6 shots, and Randall has not scored in the game. Blake Griffin picks up the foul. Coming up on NBA TV tomorrow, Houston at New Orleans. On ESPN Wednesday, January 6th. The Knicks at Miami, Memphis at Oklahoma City. Thursday, January 7th on TNT. The Bulls welcome the Celtics. The Lakers are at Sacramento. Another missed free throw for the Lakers, 9 of 18. What do you make of the Knicks so far? Kristaps Porzingis has looked very good in his first NBA season.
They took a lot of heat for grabbing him, didn't they? And he hit the wall a little bit of late. Last couple of weeks been a little rough. But yeah, right. I'm waiting for someone in the Eastern Conference to say, all right, well, we're going to be second best because no one's going to be better than Cleveland. I mean, it's Cleveland, and it's a long shot who you're going to say who's the second best team. Is it Atlanta? Is it Miami? Crawford knocks down the 3 on the second chance opportunity. Who is it? Is it Chicago? Great win today in Oklahoma City. But none of those teams have separated themselves as being second best in the East to Cleveland.
Griffin got the block on Russell, and then he throws it out of bounds. Lakers have gone 4.5 minutes without a field goal. Griffin to the bench, and the lead is 28 for the Clippers. They've won 7 straight against the Lakers, their longest winning streak ever against their rivals. Just the second time they've met on Christmas, the other game back in 1991. And a lot of these victories during this win streak for the Clippers have been blowouts against the Lakers. Although everybody's been blowing the Lakers out.
Oklahoma City a couple days here.
Pierce off the mark at a 3. Paul Pierce without a bucket in the game. He's 0 for 4. 6 seconds left, and they're going to call a foul on the floor on Prigioni. That's the first foul in the last 2 minutes. Second personal on Prigioni.
Well, Russell knew that they had a foul to give, and as Prigioni came up close, did they not have a foul to give?
I think the scoreboard up top had it wrong. Kevin Cutler is going over to the scorer's table. They had it right at the table.
Oh, well,
this is the second in the last 2 minutes, so it's free throws.
I thought Prigioni thought he had a foul to give because he came up as if he was going to foul. And Russell, that's why he lifted up and tried to shoot the 3.
Another missed free throw for the Lakers. They've missed 11 out of 20. And Russell again misses. No points this half for Russell after 12 in the first half. The Clippers throw it away to end the third quarter. A 14-0 run to close the quarter, and it's a 28-point rout. Provided by Goodyear. For game-changing performance in your lane, choose Goodyear tires. Goodyear, more driven. Back here in Los Angeles, Dave Pass, John Barry, J.A. Adonde. Let's take a look at State Farm's Exist to Assist. This year, the Chris Paul Family Foundation and Brand Jordan's Wings launched the Exist to Assist program, providing the Brotherhood Crusade in Los Angeles with a new computer lab, upgraded classrooms with state-of-the-art technology, and a revamped radio room. In 2016, Exist to Assist will continue in Portland. Chris Paul very involved in the community here in Los Angeles, as he was in New Orleans when he was a member of that franchise. Now in his 5th year with the Clippers, he has 21 points to lead all scorers tonight, also 6 assists, and it's likely that we won't see him here in the 4th quarter with the Clippers in front by 28. Lakers had just 13 points in the 3rd, their 2nd lowest scoring quarter of the season. Offensive foul on Aldridge as we bring in J.A. Adonde.
Well, Dave, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver is attending the game tonight, and I had a chance to talk to him at halftime. And on behalf of true basketball-loving fans everywhere, I pleaded with him to do something about this plague of fouling away from the ball, these intentional hacking that's been going on throughout the NBA. He said that's something that the competition committee looked at last summer, decided not to act on it, but he said he'd be keeping an eye out this season. And what he's seen is the hack and shack strategy being used more to this point of the season already than it was through the entirety of the last season. So he's mindful that something should be done. His first question, though, was how would you change it? What rule would it be? Would it be 2 shots plus the ball out of bounds all the time? Would it be the option to just take the ball out of bounds and not shoot free throws? Would you shoot it like a technical free throw? He says that's the first order of business. Doc Rivers, the Clippers coach, is on that competition committee, and he has said that it's a little difficult for him to argue on behalf of changing the rules because people think it's self-serving because he has DeAndre Jordan, obviously one of the players who has fouled the most with that strategy. And he's not been really of the mindset to change the strategy, but Rivers started to change his mind after DeAndre Jordan was sent to the free throw line 34 times in a game against Portland. And that was the first time you really heard Doc Rivers saying something needs to be done. So I would say the momentum is trending toward doing something. Hopefully, on behalf of all basketball fans, Dave.
Yeah, Jay, and for the casual NBA fan that may not know the rules, so you can just foul anybody at any point in the game anywhere on the floor until you get within 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Then it's an away from the play foul, free throws in the ball. But we see some inconsistency as there's a block and Russell on the other end flips it up and in. Get some inconsistency though where if there isn't possession, you can foul a guy, say, on the free throw line, which happened today late in the Cavalier-Warrior game where Dellavedova just jumped on the back of Iguodala while the ball was in the air on a foul shot.
Well, that's away from the ball, though. He jumped on it before the ball even got to the rim. That's an intentional foul. I mean, that's fouling off the ball. That had nothing to do with the play. They got to get rid of that. That's crazy. I mean, he piggybacked him. He played Frogger during the game. I mean, it's crazy.
Well,
you can't do that. It's not basketball.
And Doc Rivers told us before the game that they worked on that in practice with DeAndre Jordan, but they forgot to tell DeAndre they were going to do that. He got upset because he didn't know it was coming when a teammate jumped on his back on a free throw. As Randall connects and the Lakers are within 20, the Clippers going to call timeout. An 8-0 run here by the Lakers as this second group providing some energy to start the fourth quarter.
The NBA on ESPN is presented all season long by State Farm. We exist to assist. And in part by ExxonMobil. National Mortgage Lender Quicken Loans. Home Buy, Refi, Power. And Burger King. Now get 10 chicken nuggets for $1.49 only at BK.
Dave Pass, John Barry, J.A. Adonde in Los Angeles. The Clippers have not scored this quarter. 4 straight empty trips to start the period, yet they still lead by 20 over the Lakers. Crawford has it rejected by D'Angelo Russell, the number 2 pick in the draft out of Ohio State.
Well, not a lot of bright spots today, but D'Angelo Russell has been terrific. How about this? Gets beat on the initial cut, doesn't give up on the play. Throws it up in the third row.
Russell with 14 points also. Paul Pierce on the baseline. Finally hits after an 0 for 5 start. His first points of the game. He's only averaging 4 points per game on the season. His 18th NBA season. He's hinted that this could be his last run. 38 years old. When he entered the game tonight, he was booed by some of the Laker fans. They remember those Lakers-Celtic battles in the finals. Pierce was terrific for Washington last year. Randall in the lane, and Randall starting to get it going now. A couple of buckets here in the fourth. Good defense by Bass to poke it away from Aldridge. Huertas, a rookie from Brazil, 32 years of age, pushing tempo. Huertas can't get it. Lance Stevenson with the clear. Off the leg of a Laker, but not a kick, so it's a live ball. 2-on-1. Huertas over Crawford. It's good.
That was funny. Both guys ran after that loose ball, and they both assumed the other guy was going to get it. Crawford ran right by it, and Huertas picked it up and got the runner to go.
It's a 12-2 Laker run over the last 3 minutes.
And Doc Rivers not happy on this Clipper bench.
It's Lance Stevenson off the bounce. Stevenson just 1 of 5 from the floor. He's had a disappointing season. Struggled last year in Charlotte after a good run in Indy. Out to Randall for 3. And how about this? The Lakers back within striking distance at 15.
Yeah, and DeAndre Jordan going to the scorer's table. I'm sure he felt his night was done. Chris Paul reluctantly gets up off the bench as he's summoned by Doc Rivers, and another miss by the Clips.
And rebounded by Young.
Oh, these starters get mad at the bench guys. Believe me, they wanted to chill over there for the rest of the night. They're going to have to come in and clean this thing up.
Here's D'Angelo Russell. Trying to work a 2-man game with Randall. Now just drives and shoots and scores to make it a 13-point game. And a timeout again by Doc.
Isn't it the same old question, Dave Pash? Why didn't we play this hard earlier? A little effort, a little determination, and we can give ourselves a chance. Well, they got one now.
Welcome back to the NBA Christmas Special presented by State Farm. Well, the Lakers on Tuesday against the Denver Nuggets were down 21 in the third quarter, came back to win. They were down 28 in the third quarter of this game, 85-57, but they're on a 17-2 run. And they're 7 of their last 10 from the floor to get back within 13. Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan check back into the game for the Clippers. Meanwhile, the Lakers sticking with the same guys they had on the floor. Here's Crawford off a screen, spins out, rebounded by Russell. D'Angelo Russell with a team-high 16 points for the Lakers. All the scoring for the Lakers here in the fourth quarter coming from their bench. Huertas gets the roll. It's an 11-point game. Still a ton of time left.
Oh, Doc Rivers is just flabbergasted over there. So upset.
Chris Paul was done for the night. And he's back out there.
We were done for the night.
Hey, Wes Johnson with it too. You know, the Lakers are making a run in the first half, and Wesley Johnson connected on a perimeter shot. Redick is set to check in at the next dead ball. It ended a drought of 3 minutes and 15 seconds for the Clippers without a field goal. Here's Randall spinning over Jordan, and that was blocked by Johnson. Paul with a skip. Johnson spotting up. Three won't go. Doc wanted to travel. Didn't get the call. Russell. Great no-look pass to Huertas. That was a beautiful dish by the rookie.
Nice back cut by Huertas. And Jamal Crawford lost sight. And what a dime by Russell, who's having a terrific evening here.
16 points, 6 rebounds. That's his first assist of the game. Paul missed the floater. Young has it, and the Lakers can get it down to single figures. They're 9 of 13 from the floor here in the fourth quarter.
What was it, 28-point lead at one point?
Yeah, just 6 minutes ago. Russell, what a play by Paul with the strip. Lakers keep it though, and Bass hits 89-80. This would be a Christmas miracle. And a foul on the Lakers. Their first in the quarter.
Well, look at this dime from Russell. Sets it up. Beautiful back cut. And Huertas, who's provided some great energy. And this time it's Bass off the loose ball. The mid-range J. And as you said, a Christmas miracle could be happening here in Staples.
First time the Lakers have it to single digits since the second quarter. And the shot clock at 5 for the Clippers. Here's Griffin, his jumper off the front rim, rebounded by Young. Russell, Young, Randall, Huertas, and Bass on the floor. Bass, no. And a loose ball foul on Huertas.
Yeah, I think he hooked J.J. Redick's arm and pulled him out of bounds. Still not in the penalty yet.
With the second team foul on the Lakers. Doc can bear the look. He's saying,
Doc is
saying, I got my 5 starters on the floor, potentially 3 all-stars, and the Lakers have a couple of rookies, a few vets, and they're climbing back in the game.
Well, you were up 28 6 minutes ago, 6.5 minutes ago in the fourth quarter. There's a lot of things that infuriate coaches, but not finishing a game with your second unit, that will get him hot. Good steal by Russell.
Here comes Bass. Well, the Clippers have had some fourth quarter struggles, especially on the defensive end. Randall got Jordan off his feet, draws the foul. It won't go, but he'll shoot 2. Now if the Lakers could just make free throws, they're 11 of 23 tonight at the line. Think about that. If they'd be making free throws.
Yeah.
That's 3 on Jordan and 3 on the Clippers, and some of the Laker fans that were leaving the arena have retaken their seats.
They want Kobe to come back in and maybe finish this thing off, but I doubt we're going to see that. Credit this group, though. 28 down. You just see Kobe doing some teaching there with D'Angelo Russell. Okay, son, this is what you do. Here's how you go get 81.
He hits them both. Julius Randle makes it a 7-point game. Still a ton of time. 4 minutes to go. The last 25 points in this game for the Lakers have come from their reserves. Here's Redick off a screen. They double him. Griffin in the post. Shot clock at 6. Griffin on Young. Mismatch here. Johnson with 2 on the timer.
Whoa.
Buries a 3.
Big one. Great patience from Blake Griffin to find Wesley Johnson for a huge 3 in the corner.
Eight points for Wesley Johnson off the bench, and a turnover by the Lakers. Oh, Griffin turned it over. Yeah, Paulman.
Well, he got him on the 3rd time he did it. He wanted to throw the ball long to Chris Paul, and he wasn't there, but clearly a play that you don't see called very often. You see there's a carry there, and there's another carry. He got him on the 2nd one.
It's like he was pump faking, moving up in the pocket to avoid the rush.
Well,
there was nobody around him, though.
Nonetheless, 10 points, 3 minutes to go as we're getting that Laker timeout. The energy is in the building. I thought we were out in the middle of nowhere in the dark 8 minutes ago. We got a game.
ESPN and ABC bring you 3 college football bowl games at 3:30 on ABC. The new era Pinstripe Bowl, Indiana Duke. The Camping World Independence Bowl with Virginia Tech, Frank Beamer's Hokies final game taking on Tulsa, UCLA, Nebraska, the Foster Farms Bowl at 9:15. On Christmas Day, the Heat beat New Orleans to start the day in overtime. Then Oklahoma City lost at home to Chicago. The Warriors improved to 28-1, beating the Cavaliers. And in San Antonio, with just its 6th loss of the season, the Rockets finally above 500. Meanwhile, here the Clippers led by 28 at the 11-minute mark, but it's a 25-7 Laker run.
How about if you're into plus minuses? Marcelo Huertas in 845 is plus 18. And D'Angelo Russell and Randle are -1.
Meanwhile, the starters are -20. Randle's 3 too strong. He made one earlier. Couldn't get that one to fall. 10-point Clipper lead, 3 minutes to go. The Lakers had it down to 7. Clippers had to bring their starters back in. Pass broken up by Randle. Ahead to Russell. Lakers looking to run. Randle feeds Bass. And Bass scores. 8-point game. Chris Paul, a team-high 21 points, 10 of 16 from the floor. Drives the lane. High off the glass, won't go. Randle pushing tempo, racing into the front court. D'Angelo Russell, number 2 pick in the NBA draft, 16 points on his first Christmas Day game. Bass put up an air ball. Here's Redick for 3. Boarded by Bass. Randle spinning on Jordan, but can't finish. Russell with the hustle. He can't get it.
Foul him. Foul him. There you go.
So 2 free throws. Actually, no, that's the first foul in the last 2 minutes. So it is a side out. Coming up after the game, Jonathan Coachman, Max Bredos with SportsCenter at night. Reaction from Kobe Bryant on his final Christmas Day game. Chris Berman's 2-minute drill with a second to the last weekend in the National Football League regular season upon us. Here's Paul. Open, and he hits it. 23 points. Back to a 10-point lead. The first Clippers starter with a point this quarter on that Chris Paul jumper. Now the shot clock at 5 for the Lakers. Here's Russell, too strong, and that might do it with that rebound there by Griffin.
Well, Dave, we talked about the lack of bench production this season. 3rd lowest scoring bench in the league. Last year was a major problem. They kind of ran out of gas in that series against the Houston Rockets. And tonight, Doc Rivers is not going to feel much better about his bench, as they had a 28-point lead squandered in the 4th quarter that the Lakers got it down to what? 9 points, 8 points.
Got it to 7 at one point.
7 points.
Plus, John, as Randall's fouled, this is a first of a back-to-back. You know, you get Christmas at home. You play a road game, even though it's here at the Staples Center, and now you go on the road to play Utah, and then you got to go east. This is not an easy back-to-back when you have the Jazz and the altitude on the other side, and your starters were resting the 4th quarter. They were not going to play, and they had to be reinserted.
Well, right, you just tacked on what, 7-8 minutes for each starter. So you got Paul in the mid-30s, now Griffin's in the mid-30s, Jordan's in the upper 30s, and right, go to Utah, a team, excellent defensive team, can always be tough in their home building. As this one's finally going to be put to bed, but very disappointing if you're Doc Rivers that this bench couldn't close the deal.
They will improve to 17-13 and end a 3-game losing streak, but questions remain about where this Clipper team is headed. Meanwhile, the Lakers, we know where they're headed, to a top 3 pick. They're 5-25 on the season, 2nd worst record in the league. Here's Russell for 3. And that'll do it on Kobe Bryant's final Christmas Day game. He scored 12 points. 9 of those came in a 2-minute flurry. He spent the 4th quarter on the bench. Watch the young guys bring the Lakers back from 28 down to get within 7, but the Clippers end up winning by 10.
Final scoring first for the Lakers. Marcelo Huertas with 6. Brandon Bass 7. Julius Randle 11.
The Clippers with their lowest scoring